Rupert Colville, spokesman for the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR. United Nations photo. 2014, United Nations Human Rights Office on Today expressed deep concern about what it said was the disproportionate use of force by law enforcement officials, met with protesters at the outset, and urges the authorities and security forces to exercise maximum restraint. We called on the Cambodian authorities to launch an investigation quickly and thoroughly and to ensure full accountability of the members of the security forces found to have used disproportionate force and too much, a spokeswoman for the UN Office for Human Rights, OHCHR, Rupert Colville, told journalists in Geneva. He stressed that the policing of the protests are in compliance with all international obligations of human rights and international standards in the maintenance of public order, in accordance with the United Nations Code of Conduct for Law Enforcement Officials and the basic principles of the United Nations on the use of force and firearms by law enforcement officials. 5 people were killed on September 3, when the security forces opened fire on striking workers sewing in Phnom Penh. A further 20 people were injured by gunfire and beatings. According to OHCHR, the striking workers pressing for higher wages have added fuel to the political rally held since July of opposition parties to demand the resignation of Prime Minister Hun Sen and a rerun of the election. The Special Rapporteur on the Situation of Human Rights in Cambodia, Surya P. Sabiti, has repeatedly called for calm. Events on January 3 is the third since the election in 2013 on the total claimed by the authorities opened fire into a crowd and causing injuries. Journalists at the press conference today, Mr. Colville said that while OHCHR notes the government faces challenges in maintaining public order, UN human rights officials with Mr. Sabiti urges all demonstrators to exercise maximum restraint. Occasional acts of violence during the public meeting should not be used as an excuse to deprive others of the right to freedom of assembly, a right that must be protected and promoted by the authorities, Mr. Colville said. In addition, he noted that 23 people, including at least one minor, were arrested after the clashes, and their whereabouts remain unknown. We call on the authorities of Cambodia to allow all the people held incommunicado to have access to their families, legal representatives and, if necessary, medical care, the spokesman said. If not charged with an offense is defined legally, they should be released immediately.